Hi, my name is Reese Morgan. You walk into Starbucks on a cold, rainy morning before work and order your favorite coffee to help you stay energized throughout the day. Did you know that about 60 million people are served at Starbucks every week, according to Milika Snokvik and Starbucks statistics on February 16, 2022? On the outside, this may seem like a delicious cup of coffee, but when I look on the inside, these paper slips represent all of the immoral things that Starbucks is now supporting. Are you one of the 60 million customers at Starbucks per week? If so, you may want to rethink where you're spending your money. I have done a lot of research this past week on Starbucks values, and I came to the conclusion that Starbucks is not worthy of the Christians' money. My family themselves have stopped buying from Starbucks this past year. So, my purpose today is to persuade you that Starbucks is not worthy of the Christians' money. To do this, I will cover 3 main points. First, I'm going to discuss how Starbucks helps fund Planned Parenthood. Second, I will talk about Starbucks and their fair trade issues. And third, I'm going to discuss an alternative option to Starbucks, which is buying from local coffee shops. Let's start with the atrocious truth that Starbucks helps fund Planned Parenthood. Micaiah Bilger stated on lifenews.com on March 18th of 2020 that last year alone, Planned Parenthood aborted more than 345,000 unborn babies, while reporting $1.6 billion in revenue. Reference.com on March 27th of 2020 said that in many of these companies, including Starbucks, if an employee makes a donation to Planned Parenthood, the company matches the amount of money that the employee has donated. So to illustrate this, for example, if an employee donates $100 to Planned Parenthood, then Starbucks will also donate $100. As Christians, we should not be supporting or giving our money towards destroying precious life. To justify this, let's look to the Bible. Psalm 139:14 in the New King James Version says, "I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well." Now that we've talked about how Starbucks helps fund Planned Parenthood, let's talk about my next point, how most of Starbucks products are not fair trade certified. Before we dig into this issue, we must answer a few basic questions. First, let's talk about what is fair trade and why should it matter to a Christian? Bible Study Tools said, the term fair trade describes an economic exchange in which laborers receive a fair living wage. And fair trade is based on Christian values. No one should be underpaid for hard, honest work. To justify this point, let's look to the Bible again. Zechariah 7:10 in the New King James Version says, "Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless, the alien or the poor. Let none of you plan evil in his heart against his brother." When farmers are not being paid the proper amount, they are being oppressed and taken advantage of. As Christians, we should not be giving our money to oppress people. According to the article Starbucks Fair Trade Story by fairtrade.org.uk, Starbucks standard espresso roast and used in your Americano, cappuccino, and latte, as well as seasoned favorites such as pumpkin spice latte, is 100% fair trade certified. That's great, but notice how they do not say that all of Starbucks items are fair trade certified. They only say some. So, now that we've learned about what Starbucks supports and why what they support is inconsistent with Christian values, let's move on to my third point. Why we should sow into small, local coffee businesses instead. Grounds for Pleasure in Tip City, Ohio, where I live, is an amazing Christian company. They source their coffee from a place called Deeper Roots in Cincinnati, Ohio. After I looked up Deeper Roots coffee on their website, I discovered that their heart and goal is to pay the people they source their coffee from the proper and reasonable amount. What a great example of integrity. So think about what local coffee shops are in your community. Find out their values. This is such a great way to use our money for good in our own communities. So in closing, we discovered that many of Starbucks' values do not line up with biblical values. We talked about 3 main points: how Starbucks helps fund Planned Parenthood, how Starbucks, not all of their products are fair trade certified, and instead, how we should shop local coffee businesses. I urge you to throw your last cup of Starbucks in the trash. Instead, use your money to support honesty and life. Thank you.